All right. Hey, how's it going? Um, so I recently posted about ndexr and yeah, definitely getting the point that it needs more direction and descriptions, and for that I apologize, and I do agree that it needs to be more clear. On the other side, it is a vast project. Um, right now there is one single shiny application, right? um, this one single shiny application is managing and directing people to, and it feels a little bit different, but shiny modules within the shiny application which are mapped to a domain. So when we're thinking about software development, what we're thinking of is a shiny application which becomes the interface in which you can manage multiple businesses, multiple brands, multiple applications, multiple tools through a single interface. Um, and just to provide an example, so this is route.ndexr.io. Again, it's coming from the same application as exec.ndexr.io and open source.ndexr.io. All three of these domains and the sites and the modules all exist within one folder inside of this. Where is it at? The open source. Well, just inside of the zip file. Um, Going a little bit further, you can see here. Here's git.ndexr.io. Again, shiny module, but this one is to be able to do multi-repo management and say you have let's do this. Let's just create a new site. um, let's call it markdown.ndexr.io, and we'll hit provision. I'm going to stop the audio for the open source uh, section, but the biggest thing that has been argued is that I don't know where to start, and we're going to work on that and fix that and create and update the open source page, so that it starts to give not necessarily directions on installation, but a methodology and a framework for um, learning how to think about ndexr, and to go from there. The big point being, you see domain, domain, domain. Each one of these has a domain, Git, right? All of these are the same application, just different modules within that application, which all have their own Git repos. They all have their own agent, terminal, code, runners, site itself, and then here in this agent section, you can go deeper and manage, say, multiple sites and domains simultaneously. So here we've got a rel and a rel easy build site that I've been working on, but I could come in here and I could do something like let's see. um let's see if I wanted to work on the ndexr io, like main site, whatever, right? Basically, every domain is a module. Every module can be modified and uploaded, or modified in real time, and each module has its own namespace, and that's kind of how you keep everything separate. So I'll stop that. Um, that is going to convert it to text, and then I'm going to upload it, and it'll update whatever. here, okay, I already have it marked down for MD, so let's just go to it. Okay, just got created. Um, so I noticed that, for example, if I go to let's see here. Maybe I can just go to the yeah. Over here, markdown.ndexr.io. Well, one thing that I do know is that every single one of these sites, I'll open up some code and I can show you here. So each page has its own, again, tool that you can use. Okay. Let's go. So you see here multiple domains, multiple sites. I'm going to go to the agent for this page. And just go ahead and take it and say something like, okay, so you are markdown.ndexr.io, and your job is to make sure that across all domains, if it is a, well, really just any domain, go across every single domain and make sure that each has a markdown file or a readme MD file that appropriately discusses its context within the greater ecosystem of Shiny modules that we are displaying, how it fits, sites which may be useful to look at, and just generally, yeah, each site needs its own markdown, especially those like eb.ndexr.io, cvmfs.ndexr.io, aws.ndexr.io, etc. Those bigger sites which have a lot of functionality, but which all have their own repo and which deserves its own markdown file. So out of every single site, not every single site has a markdown yet, but this agent that we created, which now lives here at md.ndexr.io, it's got its own domain, it's got its own repo. It will go through here and it will update every other site based on, based on that rule that we just applied. There's so much more than what I've put on here, but you can see that just in my talking with you, there are I've updated the open source site. It has been modified, added some interesting information here, and then I've simultaneously begun a new site that is already live, that is going through and will create and update the README MDs for something like 250 sites. So 260. So let that go for a moment. But there's just so much more. There is there's tools for building out scientific software. There are tools for setting up workbench like sessions without using Faucet. There's a page for deploying EC2 servers, EC2 servers. There's just a ton of software. Yeah, so I think the other high level thing here is that there's just like it's hard for me to figure out how to give people the motivation to want to look at everything, because it's just so much, it can be overwhelming. But high level domains, which are included in the the source folder there, um, there's prefix eb cvmfs .ndexr.io for all of those. Those are set up for building scientific software. aws.indexr.io starts servers and has user management built into the deployment of those servers. ood.indexr.io for open on demand is a space for again, provisioning and starting out servers. Obviously there's costs.indexr.io, route. Every single page, everything that you see is one Shiny app. And every single module that you see gets updated in real time. So we can just look at a couple examples. Mike Stackhouse made a post earlier on LinkedIn about some CDIS work, and I was like, well, what does his code look like versus what I've built out, and like where's the complementary stuff and are there things that are worth talking about and being interested or whatever, right? Let's see. Yeah, a friend of mine has her like own yoga business, and here is her site for that. There is, let's see, find some interesting ones. elnino.indexr.io. Again, same Shiny app, but just module within it, which has kind of its own theme and its own structure, right? I made sushi because I was curious, how could I make the best sushi roll from wherever I am? What else? I created a Warren food when I was visiting work to figure out places to eat. There is, let's see, package validation, talking about, validation side of package management and what that looks like. There is a lot, right? But basically every single one of these domains, you push, you go to route, you give it a name, you push the button, it's live, you're talking to it, it has access to every single other site you've ever developed, and you can go crazy at that point, building out the infrastructure that you need. So that's high level, but I'm going to keep working on this because obviously I need to talk more and to share more information about everything, but and it's going to be difficult to soak in all at once, because it is 10 years of work that has been combined and consolidated into what used to be one repo, but which is now one consolidated effort of a system, but across nearly 250 repos that are managed simultaneously through a Shiny app. So I've said that. It's taking that information. You can check our md.indexr. It probably hasn't updated the site itself. It's probably still kind of working on the other stuff that we told it to. Oh, no. So here's the first kind of setup initially. Right, let's see your site. Oh, look at that. It has all of the markdown documents for every single site, which I think is kind of cool. Right, so here's HPC. I'll make this public. Boom, public. Now you can see it, right? Cost.indexr.io, right? every single one of these, which would technically be a sharing gap in and of itself, is just a small piece. So I can go into get.ndexr.io now that we have done this. Get.ndexr.io, blah blah blah. I'm going to send that out. We can wait for this to get updated or not. I think for the video, why not? Let's just give it a second. Going further, there's eb.ndexr.io. This is the module repo set up for managing Easy Build, which is a tool for scientific software installation. You can see the information here about what's installed. There is repo.ndexr.io, which builds off of the Easy Build stuff, and it's kind of the front page for package builds and installations. There's actually this whole HPC suite. All of these, again, Shiny modules, one app. Yeah, all different tools and stuff. I can go to admin.ndexr.io and up here, right? All of the different Shiny modules, which again are all incorporated into one consolidated Shiny app, which at this point I am convinced I could put Starlink on my back, wear a Meta Quest, and hike up to the top of the longest peak in northern Colorado and get a month's worth of work done without touching a single keyboard. So, yeah, we are in a new time. So we'll let that run. I don't know how long it's going to take. It's kind of a whole bunch of blah that I've put there. But for now, we can go ahead and commit everything that has been updated and modified. Each one of these sub repos can, you can update the entire system in real time. So I don't have the back here. Yeah, there it is. You can push back or forward to go back in the version if you think that there's something broken there. But yeah, this is just the high level kind of initial overview, and I will. I don't know. See, set it off. I kind of do want to wait until it's done, but I don't know how long it's going to take. So, we'll just get some time. Thanks for listening. I won't stop that though.